What's up, everybody? It's your favorite grumpy Grump's favorite nerd, and today we are looking at the Fans Toys Variator, which is their take on Gears. And I'm anxious to take a look at this guy because I think he does a number of things right that I feel like Fans Toys has been kind of not been doing right recently, which I'm always happy to see. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at him, but before we do, we're going to first shout out Nick the Toy Guy, who I got this from. His email is in the description. I highly recommend seeking him out, especially if you live on the East Coast. He's one of the only people over here kind of selling this stuff, so you get it pretty quick. And now that we got that out of the way, we're going to go ahead and get into accessories. So he comes with 5 additional faces. We have 2 different types of smiley faces, 2 different types of frowny faces, and then like somewhere in between stoic and frowny face. So more than you should ever need. He comes with a blue pistol. It is painted beautifully. We'll talk about that when we get to the figure. And this bit collapses. He can hold it just fine with a tab that goes into the back of his palm. And then once you have this collapsed, you can wrap this around the top section of the vehicle mode if you want to have it kind of in battle mode. He also comes with a secondary weapon. Once again, painted beautifully. Once again, the kind of handle collapses. Once again, it tabs into the back of his palm and the fingers just wrap around. And the same goes for that one. So then you go double battle mode. Gimmicks wise, the chest plate opens up to reveal that kind of stuff underneath with this different types of paint, turquoise, blue, and silver, and all the kind of mechanics and stuff. So out of the box, the only prep thing I had to do was spin his waist 180, I believe, anyway. Then somebody would be like, nope, his elbows are completely inside out, you moron. And I'll say, sorry, I didn't realize that. The head. So it's on a hinge swivel. You get the swivel, you get the hinge. You get good up on that, nothing really down. The neck actually comes out of the kind of collarbone area, which helps it, with the range of motion, which is nice. The red is painted, the gray is painted, the eyes are painted, looks good. Moving on to the chest abdominal area, we have red paint, we have white paint, and it looks good. We have a waist swivel, uninterrupted. We have an ab crunch. Look what they can do. Love to see it. For the shoulders, beautiful blue paint. This is the style paint that we should have gotten with Soundwave. It's the style paint that we should have gotten with Beachcomber. It's how blue should look. The hue of the color blue can change, but how it presents from this company, that's how you do it, right there. It's a universal joint, and actually if you untab it, you can get even more. I say you can give that to them. That's up way past 90 degrees. And swivel around. No butterfly. We're not quite there yet. We're getting there, though. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbow. Little to no sculpt work in the arms. That is to try to follow the cartoon model. It's also the kind of stuff that drives me nuts. It's just, that's the one thing about this figure that I think looks boring. But the paint does help save it. Wrist swivel, and then the fingers are on a base pen knuckle. All right, let's back out a little bit and take a look at the whole figure. So we got hip skirts. They'll get up and out of the way to expose universal joints that get you the full Van Damme and ratcheted little shy of the full Monty, but probably more than you would ever need. Thigh swivel. Oh, it's a single knee? I don't know why I thought it was a double. Oh, it is a double. My joint is just stuck, I guess. See that joint? I can't get the white piece to move, but on here, the white piece moves. So it's a double joint. It's just mine's a little jammed up at the moment. But for the full run. Thighs are painted. Lower legs are painted. Look good. The ankles, there's no tilt, but you do get a rocker. It's not the most extreme rocker, but it should get you most of everything that you want. And there he is from the back. Relatively clean. I even like the way that the wheels pop out there. I think that looks cool. Something interesting to look at. Yeah, this is a well-done figure. And there he is next to the Bad Cube offering. And I was saying this on Patreon, but like I think that it's kind of impressive just how well the Bad Cube has held up for all these years. Like it does look dated, but it doesn't look as dated as some of the other offerings that we've replaced with newer updates from other companies. Like he's held on pretty good. It was a pretty well designed representation of this character. So, you know, kind of just interesting to look at. And we'll be doing a versus of this weekend. Or yeah, Saturday. Yep, that's the day I'm looking for. All right, let's get this guy transformed. So flip open this little section here, push the face in, and then spin it 180. Open up the chest area. It comes out on a double hinge. Rotate 180 and sit back down. Let's see what else we're gonna do here. Okay, we can open up this backpack here and take this portion out, flip it around, it'll tab back into itself, and flip these pieces out. These two side red pieces. Extend, and what do we want to do here? Oh yeah, open up the shoulders. Like to get that extra articulation that we were talking about. And then you can take these pieces that are the side pieces, spin them 180, and then flip these little end sections around. Spin 180, flip the little end section around. All right, so this section here with the grill flips out and then splits in half. And you can unlock the section where the head is connected from these side tire bits here, and then they'll flip out as well. All right. Then this comes back down and tabs in. And then we have all of this. So this piece here rotates down into the hood and then spins 180, which is pretty interesting. And then at that point, the head can come up. Remember, we had that flap back. And then, but the flap has to go through and exit out of here. Right? And then that will tab back in. All right, so next thing we have to do is get the arms tucked in. So we got to take these hands and get rid of them. Close that flap. Typical stuff here. Close that up. And then these kind of have to rock down so they make like a Z type shape. What's going on here? And then bring them around. And they go into the front of the vehicle there. So same on this side. Swing them in. Z formation. Spin around. Let's get that. We'll get the forearm in first and then push in. And we'll kind of reconnect all of that. And then these pieces we can bring down and they tab in to the blue piece on both sides. As a heads up, these pieces are probably going to come undone. The grill comes undone. These side pieces come undone. Leave this kind of loosey-goosey out here in the middle. These sections you can actually close up here And then I think we can start working on the feet. So, all right, swing that out, swing this down, then swing that out, and then take your tire, pull against the leg there, swing it down, and what you're looking to do is rotate the tire until both pins line up one over top of the other. And then you can move that back, and then you can swing this around, and that will actually peg into the side. So, and you can put that piece back in, I think, maybe. Let's do it for now anyway. Same for this side, right? Swing out, swing out, swing around, rotate the tire out once, twice, rotate so that the pins are sitting on top of one another, clip back in, clip the fender in there, rotate that piece back. This might, does that come, it's like a little loosey-goosey, but we'll see if that's okay. I was right, you do push them past. There's a little bit of resistance that you'll meet up against. You just have to push past and get that in there. All right, so then untab your knees. You can actually start moving this a bit. And tab your legs together. There. And then you want to rotate the lower legs so that you create like a flat red surface, and I'll just tab them back together at the end. And there's also a tab in the back of the leg that will go into the back of the thigh. Mine's not quite right. There it is. Same for this side. And then you can tab them together. These pieces come up. Get this chest out of the way. Actually, chest is supposed to be facing that way, I believe. All right, and then just maneuver this until, until it works, basically. This is one of those like Fans Toys moments where you just have to like smush it and hope that the engineering holds up. And I mean, that's basically it there. And then this comes up and sort of locks into place underneath. I'll clean it up. We'll take a look at it. And there it is. Luckily, it has a ton of blue on it. The blue looks amazing, So that's one of its strongest features. It's very cartoony, right? No realism attempted at here. Silver plating there. We have the translucent for the headlights, the translucent around the silver inside for the windshield and the sunroof. And yeah, rolls like a champ. Rubber tires, pretty clean underneath. Nothing else to really say. There it is next to Tiger Tracks. It's a little fella for sure, but it's a mini bot, so I guess I get it. Final thoughts wise, we'll start with the negative. It makes the kind of classic mistake of having the whole pelvis piece be one flap, so it all has to flip up in order to utilize the leg forward articulation. I'm never a fan of that. I would have liked a little bit more sculpted detail in the arms, not a ton, just a little bit, and ankle tilt motions forward and back would have been nice as well. That's one of the real articulation limitation points on this guy. He doesn't have a butterfly, but we're kind of used to that. The ankle tilts are the only thing that kind of get in the way. To be fair, the only only other real negative I have is it's one of those Fans Toys transformations where you have to kind of crush everything together at the end to make it work. That's just not my favorite style that they do, but they do utilize it fairly often. And to be fair, it does work. So that's the kind of saving grace of it. It's just not the most fun to kind of crush this $100+ thing together with a hope and a prayer. Moving on to the positives, though, there's a lot to say. The materials feel good. They feel like typical Fans Toys stuff, and that's nice. The paint is beautiful, specifically that blue paint. That's the blue that they should be using more frequently, that style. The ratchets feel great in the hips. You have 95% of all the articulation that you want. I think this is one of those occurrences where a ton of character comes through in the sculpt, which is always nice to see. And to be fair, I don't think Fans Toys always get that. I think, like, for instance, MMC is far better at making character come through in a figure, but I feel like this one is really successful at it. Comes with a ton of face options and a couple guns. No issues on accessories. And engineering-wise, while I may not like the crushing aspect, there's a lot of interesting stuff going on here, like the spinning of the roof of the car, the flattening of the knees and so forth. Like, there's a lot of really cool, fun, and interesting stuff, and most of it is not frustrating at all. Most of it is really smooth. I think the vehicle mode looks good in the sense that it looks the way it's supposed to. I wish they went with a more realistic look, but that's just my preference. So it's a definite strong recommend from me. One of their best releases of the year. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.